All right, so we're marking where to put these seats at, and I've taken a little bit of ultra flat camouflage paint and hit those holes. So I'm gonna yank this seat out of here, and then you can see that it marks everything beautifully. So you can see that just works real good, not much overspray there. This one's kind of questionable where the hole is, but we can figure that out. This one worked out excellent. So did that. Well, hey guys, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Brian. We're out in the hog barn and we are working here to get the seats both mounted in this old 35 Chevy. And it's been a while since we worked on it on the channel. There's a whole playlist with a ton of videos there. You can see we got our seat here and it's got to fit in here. And then we've got the other seat. We already bolted it in and mounted it up, and are reasonably happy with where it fits for the size of the interior of this car. So I'm hoping in this video to get seat mounted and then both seats pulled out. We're going to clean all this up in the front. We're going to lay down the rest of the sound deadening material in there on the floor, and then I've got to raise the gas pedal up and just a couple of other little things so we can get our padding down and possibly carpet in this thing in this video. So that had to be something else. I mean, we fired it up and she runs. We got a lot of cleanup to do up here. The running boards aren't fully mounted down to the brackets, so I've got to fix that and get a couple of tabs made and those built. I'm considering pulling the front fenders completely back off of the car so I can make my wiring a little bit cleaner, more easily get to everything there, and to run the valves good on this thing to get the lash all set on it. So yeah, not a whole lot of stuff, but it is a whole lot of stuff. So sit back and let's get to work. Vacuumed everything out. I'm gonna spray it down with some Sprayway and wipe all the little dust and what's left behind out of here. Gonna do this half of it, leave that driver's seat in, and then pull the driver's seat out, do the other half. Pretty straightforward, simple stuff. Just want to get all of the dust off so this stuff has the best chance possible of sticking and staying there. And got the old big battery cable off there. Yeah, so not too much stuff left in after the mouse sucker got done with it. All right, so we're using your guys' favorite, the cheapest stuff we can buy. And it's Kill Mat, and it seems to be the equivalent of a lot of stuff that's out there, you know, other than the really high dollar sound dampening mats. I think this stuff will work great. All I'm doing is just trying to butt each piece up. I am ending up with a little lap out here on the edge that I'm cutting off, and then right here I've got a body mount bolt that I'm going to cut also. Now you can use your pocket knife, a hacksaw. You could chew this stuff in half if you wanted to. I'm suggesting something that you can cut it with, and then when you're all done you can throw it away, because it's going to leave a lot of black residue on your blade and make it super nasty. But I mean, hey, if you guys want to chew it up, just take a big bite, you know. I mean, yeah, we just cut it, peel it out, and then stick it down. I do have a roller to go back and roll this and get really good contact with the surface, but I'm gonna lay this side down. I'm going to lay out another strip right up against this seat here where it may be doubled or something. I don't know. Yeah. Pro tip, don't do your sound dampening installation in the winter. Do it in the summer. Take this stuff and set, oh man, that's hot. Set it on a surface and let the radiant heat from the sun warm it up. It'll stick better and form easier for you. So you just keep putting it in, and all I'm doing is kind of button stuff up and trying not to have too many big gaps. It's getting awfully crooked in here. Yeah, we're not laying tile though. It'll be all right, guys. Well, all right, guys, it is a new day, but I wanted to bring you in and show you the progress that we made last night / yesterday. Got the pad cut out, kind of laid in here. I'm working on going through and making all the holes for the seats, the shifter, and then I did raise up my gas pedal there, made the pedestal a little bit taller for it. It's not bolted in, the gas pedal isn't yet, because yeah, that pad, I don't want to set seats on it or anything. I want to get the pad in, all the holes made, and then I'm going to use that as a template so I can just unroll my carpet, apply my glue to the carpet and the pad, glue the pad down to the carpet, and then we'll have our blueprint there. We'll just be able to poke holes and make them everywhere we did on this padding. And you could do this a lot of different ways, guys. You could make a cardboard template, which I've done, or a paper template, which would probably be a lot easier. Or just like I'm doing here, rather than spend the time to make a template, I'm going to use this pad as that, and I'm just going to spend extra time making sure that I get it laid out in here properly. So yeah, that's kind of where we were at last night. Stayed out here and worked for a little bit, and then today got a bunch of running to do. So just wanted to get going with an update. All right, I had to put together a list. I finally made it far enough along on the 35 that got to start getting some kind of organization going with this so I can keep track of what's up. You noticed I learned how to number in school. It's 1, 2, 4, 3, 6, 5. Yeah, just kind of the order I was going to do them in. I don't know, maybe the importance, I'm not sure. So I just recorded, but I didn't record because I forgot to push the button. So we start out here, got my MAP gas torch. Too cheap to use a punch, so I just use a piece of a cattle panel. For you guys that aren't around cows, that's just like 3/16 steel rod. This is galvanized, but we're never going to get it hot enough to even burn that galvanized off of it. And we go over here, and what I've got is a punch, or an antenna ground to a sharp point. Some people will call it a shiv. And poke that down through that. And then I pull it up above the floor, and I'm melting that hole out just a little bit larger diameter. Makes it easier to find, guys. These holes are, they become a mystery once you pull this stuff out. So to mark this stuff, I'm just being real careful. And I have my pad set in here, and I've got to mark 2 holes somewhere in here. And I'm just going to roll this pad up and try not to disturb it too awful much. And then this kill mat, of course I didn't poke the holes in it when I put it in here, so now I got to go back and I got to find the holes. There's one. So I take it and poke through. Yep, that's a hole. That's not. So where are you? Hole number 4 here. Yep. Yeah, you got to sit here with your roller, smash her down good and flat. I guess I could go ahead and make that hole and set my shifter down on it, and it would show me right where I need to be. Anyway, this is part of the process. The big thing is just be careful with this, get it back in the same spot every time. I actually have it taped at the very front to hold it in place. And I'm just going through here, trying to make it happen. I cut around that and pull that kill mat off there. So it'll come right out of that. And we can go, I want to know where that other hole is, darn it. It's like right in here somewhere. It's not far from that one. Oh, maybe that's it. Ah, there we go. Yeah. But this is the way I do it. I don't know how you guys do this. You know, maybe a paper template's faster in the long run. I don't really know. I think this is a pretty quick way to do it. I just roll that back out, and while I still know about where those holes are, I poke my punch down through it, and then go ahead and find that other hole, punch down through it, and then I get this out of the way. It makes a nice seat, and then we're right back to doing the same thing. We're heating up, we're poking those out, get those two in. All I have to do is the 4 for that seat, and we're finished with this step. We can move on. Well, all right, guys, we had a lot of fun. Put a lot of holes in here today. Got everything ready. I did come back and I cut out where the brake master cylinder access door is, because I've worked on a few of these that it was awkward. You had to get under it, pop the lid off, use a bottle or something and squeeze brake fluid into the master cylinder, and then check it with a mirror or your finger. I'm going to make this one where I can pull this door off and have good access there. It just seems like the right thing to do to me. We'll figure it out what we're going to do with the carpet there, but I'm thinking it's going to have a little point there where the carpet is actually cut around it. What kind of border we do or whatever, I don't know. But, you know, this thing will have a floor mat in it most likely over there. And I started unrolling the carpet over here, and just, yeah, that's how far I got. Actually packing up, getting ready to go to Colorado, and then we're going to go through to Wyoming and up into the Grand Tetons. So just doing what I can do before that trip happens. And tomorrow morning we're leaving out early and do some cool whitewater rafting. If I live, we'll probably get the carpet put in the car. All right, so let's unwind some carpet here on our nice cardboard workbench. I'll look at this stuff and kind of figure out what kind of grain. You know, you got texture to your carpet. There's a direction to it. And yeah, I think we want to try to get that direction going one way inside of this car. There's a lot of it here. It's kind of weird because this poor car, this carpet, this is the width of the roll and then the length. So I bought 3 yards long, and this is what we ended up with. So I'm just wanting to look at it, get it out here, flip it around. See, we're going to have, I don't think it's going to matter too much. I would like to have the grain going front to back. So it kind of interferes with what I was dreaming up, because I was thinking that this carpet is the length that we need. So we would have this grain going crossways in there. What do you think? You think it matters? I think we'll be all right. Let's get the pad out of the car and bring it out here. We'll have to flip this over, and we'll set our pad on here and get it kind of squared up so we can glue some stuff down. Yippee. So all right, I'm just like going around, and I'm marking here with my soapstone, and really just kind of marking roughly where I want this stuff to go. I'm not sure if I should leave more length at the top or not. I mean, this is where the steering column goes through, so we're that much higher inside. I'm really marking it so I know where I need to spray glue, because I really don't want to just coat this whole thing with glue. So we'll just come in close around the edges. Mark it out. And I've left extra around pretty much every edge, just so she fits in there good. So we're going to give it a whirl and see how we do. I'm going to just take this thing and I'm going to fold it back. So like roughly halfway, fold it back. We're going to spray this down, spray this, because glue sticks to glue. So we'll spray it, we'll let it sit, tack up for 5-6 minutes, whatever, and then we'll slam it down and see how well it sticks. Straightforward, we're just like hosing this stuff down. Ooh, man, this Gorilla Glue stuff is nothing like the old Loctite stuff. Uh-oh. We may not like Gorilla Glue brand spray adhesive. Yeah, not nearly as crazy looking. We're soaking her down good though, guarantee you. Want it all to have something to bite to. I'm going to start spraying this pad over here. Same deal, just gun it down like crazy. All right, so we've sprayed both halves. We've let it set for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. It's pretty warm out here. We're just gonna flop her down and then hope that we can, oh boy, yeah, it sticks. It sticks, folks. Just don't want any giant wrinkles in anything. All right, that's all there is to that. We take this half, whoop, not the carpet too. Oh, there we go. You can see it's sticking down pretty good. So same deal here, make sure our carpet is all flat and then go from there. Yeah, let's spray all this down, flip it over, press it down. I'm gonna let it sit for a good hour before I do anything else. I'll have to come back and cut around the edges, and then we'll melt our holes in, and we should be in good shape to have a fitted piece of carpet. All right. All right. You need to remember there is a top and a bottom to this thing, and it is crucial that we get it facing the right direction. If we don't, you may have to go and replace all the carpet that you just used. The pad's still good, but that glue really does stick. Yeah, I was looking at this thing, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't flip the pad over. We're looking at the bottom of everything. I glued the top to the bottom here, the top to the top, or however you do it backwards. That's what I did. And I already cut it too, so at least I didn't cut the square out for the master cylinder access. So then you got to take it and you got to flip it, and I hope that it'll fit. And I think we're going to be okay. We're just kind of pulling the dunce card here. I know better than that. You gotta like look at it and imagine what's gonna happen with it 14 times before you glue anything. Anything. Make sure you got it right. Yeah, and she's not quite symmetrical. I think it'll probably be okay. All right, well, things are looking different here. Yeah, glare from light. Took the wood off of this and just put carpet on it. I think it'll look great like that. I built my kick panel for in here. I've got this one cut for the other side, but I've got a notch out for the hood release, and it can't be as big as this other one because of wiring. Pulled our little panel out here because we got to have brakes on the car, and I had brakes before I put the body back on. I don't know what the deal is. We got sort of a mushy, soft pedal, and I haven't pulled the top off of the master cylinder yet. I did start bolting the shifter in, and well, 2 bolts. If two won't hold it, 4 never woulda. I don't know. I'm just a little bit short. My bolts, 2 of the holes went through just the floor. I guess this one, no, there's one more. Yeah, right there. That one, this one went through the floor. I mean, this thing's pretty. That would probably hold it right there, but I did drill the other 2 holes. My bolts are just a 1/2 inch too short, so I've got to get different bolts. These are actually going through the 1-inch square tubing that's underneath the metal for the floor, so it'll make it super stout. We'll get them in there. And I did pull the wires for the neutral safety switch and the backup lights through the carpet, come up here by the cable. One goes on this side, the other one goes on the other side of the shifter. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. The goal is to get the seats in it so we can make a complete video. So we just keep working. All right, guys. There you go. Interior, yeah, still a mess, but getting cleaned up. We're waiting on parts for this car now. I ordered a master cylinder, exhaust tubing, tons of other little stuff here and there. I've got an issue here with gap on this side of the cowl versus gap over here on this side of the cowl. You see, I think our front sheet metal needs to come this way. It'll just be half the amount of that gap. So we didn't do bad, but the ichrometer, yeah, she was off a little bit. I was sitting here looking at this last night and decided that I better not mount the running boards until I move the front end over and get everything centered up, and then I can go ahead and mount my running boards. And yeah, we'll have all the sheet metal bolted down at that point around the whole car. We got to go today. We're going to order wheels and tires for the car. I think I finally got the sizes figured out on that. Thanks to Out of Order Garage, he helped me out a bunch with the metric versus old style inch size tires, because I've mocked this car up and built it with I don't know if I think they're H60s on these old steel wheels, and you can see we're a little too big. The rear end, somehow when I moved the pinion, I slid the rear end over, so I've got to jack this up, move the rear end, get everything lined up there again, make sure it's centered, figure out what's going on there. And I already said master cylinder, we're going to have to replace that. We got our carpet in there, wiring drug over to the starter. These wires here are power window wires and courtesy light wires, so I get those put up, ordered a steering wheel, get it put in here, and then I've got to go order a little bit of this blue paint. I ran out, and I think I'm going to paint these garnish moldings red. Paint these garnish moldings blue so that they match going from here to the inside. Because if you look here, we're black here with blue. I think it'll just look better that way. Been doing a lot of little stuff, guys. Trim these panels to where we've got even gaps all the way around. Got my panels inside, garnish moldings inside, so I can see what I've got to do there. Just a lot of little piddly stuff. that takes forever, that it could make a video, but I'm not sure. We're gonna cut this one off here, and yeah, you guys leave me a thumbs up, give me some comments, let me know what I could do better, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed and are watching my channel, and this thing is close to driving now. We just got to get running boards mounted. Got to do a little better front end alignment on it, and get those tires and wheels here so we can roll without worrying about stuff going flat or blowing up and tearing up our sheet metal. So you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video.